Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'd like to answer a common question that I get when it comes to right to repair. What can I do? I'm not a politician, I'm not a CEO, I'm not rich. What can I do? I like what you do in these videos and I like the idea of a more repairable world. How can I help? How can I get involved? I want to get involved. What can I do? I don't think this is the answer that most people are looking for, and I can tell based on the disappointment that I see in people's eyes when I give them this answer in person. They're often too kind and too polite to say that's not exactly what I was looking for, but this is how I believe you create true, long-lasting change that is immune to culture wars, that is immune to backlash and unintended ways. What I like to do with any issue that I advocate is I like to figure out why it matters to me. Like, why do I care about this? What about this particular issue brings me joy? What about what I'm advocating for brings me joy? And then I look to share that with as many people as possible. So I've asked myself with repair, what about repair brings me joy? Well, there's four things. The first is this happy feeling that I get when I make something work again and I kind of figured it out on my own. Or even if I didn't figure it out on my own, I read a guide on the internet, somebody helped me out a little bit, but my two hands got it, the fan to spin, the light to turn on, the wheel to spin, whatever it is, seeing something work, even if it's just half working because of something I did, gives me a beautiful kick of dopamine that makes me feel happy. The second is when I am able to save time or money. I can be an impulsive person. I don't want to wait 2 or 4 weeks to have something replaced. I want it to work right now. And if I'm able to make it work right now and save $700 or $900 or $2,000 that I could spend elsewhere, it feels good to not only have it working again so I can use it immediately, but also to save the money. The third thing that I enjoy, what gives me joy about repair, is when I'm able to make a living providing this service to somebody else. When I can go home and know that I'm not dealing with a boss at Model Sporting Goods, I'm not working at 3P Delivery, when I can see in my employees' eyes just what it's like to be able to work at a place where you could shoot Nerf guns at each other or shoot baskets in the middle of the day instead of get yelled at in an office space environment, knowing that we're able to make a living doing something that we enjoy, it really does bring me joy. And the fourth thing that I enjoy about repair is admittedly a little bit of an anti-authoritarian streak where I just don't have respect for authority figures when they don't give me a good enough reason for why I cannot do something. And I like being able to get around the authority figures that say, you can't do this, this is not possible, this won't work, blah, 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 and do it anyway and demonstrate that it is safe, it is effective, and that they're wrong. So what I like to do is figure out what brings me joy, and then figure out how can I share this joy with as many people as humanly possible. So one of the things that I'll do is I will do YouTube videos where I show people how to do the work that I do. And at this point, I've done approximately 600 or 610 different board repair videos where I show you exactly how to do what I do so that you could take part in it as well, so that you can see the fan spin again, so that you on your own are able to follow along and make your own stuff work. If I can get enough people to get their own stuff to work again on their own and get that little smile on your face that I had on my face over here when I made this board work again, I imagine that I don't have to tell them to care about right to repair. I don't have to wave a sign in their face. I don't have to tell them how to vote. I don't have to lecture them. I don't have to look at them and go, how dare you? I will have somebody who supports me, not because they were guilted into it, not because they were strong-armed into it, but because they organically, from the root down, believe in what it is I believe in because they've experienced that joy for themselves. And I try to find ways to share that joy with people as often as I can. If you're able to help someone make something work again so that they can experience that joy, if you can help someone when they can't afford to buy something new, make what they already have work so they can save money, so that they can experience what it's like to have a more full wallet. If you can help someone do repairs that they otherwise would not have been able to do at their repair shop so they can increase their income by $30,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 a year, maybe change the way that their family tree looks as a result of it. These are all ways that you are advocating for right to repair without ever using the words right to repair. You are not telling them care about this issue, but rather you're taking all of the elements of positivity from that issue and you're showering it upon that person. They will eventually figure out what right to repair is and why it matters. And they will organically support it in every area of their life without even knowing what the words are, if they share your joy. If you simply tell somebody, care about this, have this bumper sticker, vote for this politician, say these words, carry this sign. Carry the sign, they'll pretend, but when they have the ability in their own life to do or say something that will effectuate real change, they're not really going to care. They were just doing it because you told them to. Don't just share the joy, also share the pain. One of the things that I do from time to time is when there's a repair that I would have loved to have been able to do for a customer, when there's data that I would have loved to have been able to recover, that I wasn't able to recover, or something I wasn't able to fix, I'll share that with you. And that's what I did in this video, how Apple is shaping the future of repair. There's one chip that used to be $5 to $15 that I wasn't able to get access to anymore, which meant that a machine that typically would have been an easy repair was no longer fixable at all at the time that I made that video when it wasn't available. And that made me sad. It seemed wasteful. I shared my joy with you with about 500 videos showing this is how I do what I do. This is the end result. Look at how it saves people money. Look at how it makes something work again. And now I'm not able to do that. Here's why I'm not able to do that. Here's what I used to do, and here's what I'm no longer able to do, and here's why. Encourage people to become personally invested in your joy, because your joy becomes their joy, so that when it's taken away, they want to figure out why. They will naturally want to investigate themselves. Jim Camp describes salesmanship as a pendulum, and admittedly, getting people to care about an issue in some way is salesmanship. And how people will always be trying to pull the pendulum towards them. They'll always be trying to convince you, the hard sell, get you to care. And at the end of the day, human decision-making and salesmanship is like a pendulum. When a person walks away, the pendulum goes in the other direction. They're going to wonder, why are you telling me to care about this? What do you stand to gain? Why are you trying to convince me? Why are you looking to manipulate? And that's how you wind up with these little counterculture-ish movements or culture wars where people think that something that actually is good for them is bad for them out of their own skepticism. Don't even bother with that. Don't try to hard sell people. Don't hold up a sign. Don't do all of this. Share the joy with as many people as humanly possible. They will end up looking for their own solutions. And when they do, they might find one of ours. I think that's how you create long-lasting change. Obviously, you have all the standard stuff of, it would be great if you'd call your legislator, it would be great if you got involved, if there was a bill in your state and voiced your support for it. Again, Repair Preservation Group Action Fund is not opposed to you writing a check to help us hire lobbyists in every state. But at the end of the day, what is the money being used for? The money is being used to hire a lobbyist. The lobbyist is going to figure out all the groups that they have to get together in order to actually have a chance of a bill getting passed and organize everything. But at the end of the day, if more people were on the same page, maybe you wouldn't even need a lobbyist to begin with. Maybe companies would just naturally produce repairable stuff. Maybe more people would start companies that create repairable devices. Maybe more engineers would decide that they don't want to work at firms that go out of their way to make their products unrepairable. Maybe the problem would start to solve itself. Money is a great thing. And again, if you are a multimillionaire or billionaire, I will not turn down your checks to Repair Preservation Group Action Fund to help lobby. But at the end of the day, if I'm being honest with you, what I would much prefer is that you scale the model that I have started with this YouTube channel. What I do is I just turn my camera on and I try to show you why I enjoy doing what I do, the end result of me doing what I do, and I try to do it in a manner where you can follow along at home. So that maybe if you want to experiment on your own devices, or if you want to experiment on devices that you picked up from a recycling center or Craigslist or eBay, that you could do the same thing. And maybe you can enjoy having something that works for a discount, or enjoy making a little extra money on the side, or just have that excited feeling in your head when you get the fan spin on your own. I've thought for a long time about this. Why is it that so often when something in the news comes up about right to repair, that I'm at the top of every comment section of every thread, when I don't think I'm particularly great at presenting myself? I don't think I'm a particularly likable human being. I don't think I'm a great activist. I don't really understand activism much at all. I've been thinking about this a lot because I want to figure out what it is so that it can be scaled and repeated. And I think what it is that I don't just say, this is an issue that matters, you should care about it. I say, this is an issue that matters, but here's why it matters to me. let me show you how it can matter to you in your own life without it having to cost you money. Sharing joy, I think, is the best form of activism. For whatever cause it is that matters to you, for whatever it is that you care about, how can you distill what it is that makes you happy about that cause when it is succeeding or when it can succeed? How are you able to share that with other people so that they can feel the same way that you feel without you having to tell them how to feel, without you having to tell them this is why you should care about it? This is, in my opinion, one of the best forms of activism. Not carrying a sign, not marching back and forth, not telling people how they should vote or what they should think, but rather planting a seed so that they can share the same joy that you feel when you get what you are advocating for. How can you do that with the issue that you advocate for? How can you plant a seed so that people naturally, on their own, are incentivized to find the solution themselves rather than have you point it out to them? And how can you create that incentive in a way where you don't have to tell them to care about it? They care about it because now it actually affects them, because they've shared your joy and they've seen a small vision of what could be. What can you do as a normal person? Help as many people as possible in your life be able to share in the joy of repair. That's it. Honestly, that's what I've been doing on this channel for the past 7 or 8 years. And I think that is the best thing that you can do as an individual. That's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.